So the python is considered a warrior in the Dream Arc Codex, and the python is also an underworld creature and one of the 64 fear keys. Now, all of the fear keys represent a human fear. The python represents one that many of us can relate to, which is the fear of commitment. So I just want to read a bit from Richard Rudd's Animal Codex to give you a taste of the python's guidance in medicine, just to warm us up. If you do anything in a half-hearted way, you may as well not do it at all. Apply this to your relationships, your studies, your work, your spiritual practice, or anything else in your life. If you can rise up to my challenge, then I invite you to work with my power for an extended period. Stop allowing your awareness to drift across so many things and focus all attention on me, on my meaning, my symbolism, my journey. Listen intuitively to my whisperings in your soul. Use me to break the pattern of your half-heartedness. I will bring your focus onto the things and teachings in life that your soul most needs. I am aware that this challenge may make you afraid, and that is good. You will see that this period of intense focus will change your life, harnessing the awesome power of commitment. Yes, the fear and the power of commitment. So many of us carry the fear of making a choice and committing, right? We can be afraid to commit to so many things, to a relationship, to a community, to a vocation, to a place to live, a spiritual path, a creative project, to a diet, a cleanse, an exercise routine. Lord knows I know about that one. To an education or an online program like the Dream Arc. And beneath our common fears of commitment often lie even deeper fears. When we full-heartedly commit ourselves to something or someone, we're essentially saying yes to the new, yes to the unknown. We're confronting ourselves with the fear of going deep. If we commit, we may feel something that we're afraid to feel, whether it's grief or rage or overwhelming love or deep vulnerability or profound aloneness, or the kind of creative inspiration that we can no longer suppress, that if we embrace it, we realize that our lives will never be the same. So committing often requires that we step outside of our comfort zone. And anytime we step outside of our comfort zone, we're opening up to our fear of failure and our fear of success. We're opening up to our fear of change and of changing so much that we just can't go back. Often a deep commitment can't help but bring up the fear of being abandoned, rejected, being judged, or getting it wrong. The interesting thing is that when we commit ourselves to the Dream Arc, we're not actually committing to manifesting something concrete or something known or preconceived. We're not committing to learn some logical system or following a prescribed path or a linear sequence, or even earning a degree or some kind of certificate that we know we're going to be able to apply to some secured future one day. What we're committing to is a process designed to teach us how to dive into the unknown, how to navigate change, how to activate our imagination and trust our intuition, how to moment by moment discover and surrender to our totally authentic, never before walked path. Now, inside the online course, we're all encouraged to begin the journey in the same way. We get oriented and then we create the foundation or the living vessel for our adventure, the life web. Then we invite in our guardian and our portal creature. We initiate our journey with our own intention and very unique ritual. And then we let go into the jungle, right? So we each head off into the wilderness of our own inner and outer lives, our sleeping and our waking dreams. And no two journeys are the same in the Dream Arc. My journey today isn't even like my journey yesterday. I like to say that you never step into the same Dream Arc twice. So you could say that the Dream Arc provides you with a map, but the territory is your life, your everyday life. And if life is anything, it's full of change, especially now when so many of us feel like we're living in a world where so little is certain, where everything, or at least so many of the structures that we've relied on to hold and guide us in the past, seem to be falling apart. These days, more and more, we're being asked to rely on our gut, our instinct, our hearts, And the capacities that we need to cultivate more than anything else are the capacities to connect and reconnect with ourselves, with each other, with nature, with the spirit of creativity, with the power of archetypes, with our ability to imagine, with the wisdom of our ancestors and living wisdom keepers who still carry the knowledge, the practices, and the earth-based traditions that we've lost touch with, or at least many of us have, and the ability to help us remember who we are and why we're here. When we full-heartedly enter the dream arc, and I'm not even talking about the online course right now, I'm talking about the dream arc way of life. I'm talking about entering into the spirit of the dream arc. We start to rebuild intuitive muscles that have atrophied, and we begin to navigate small and big changes, even the great change, with a greater sense of adventure and grace. You might know that famous quote by Wolfgang von Goethe. It's a longer quote, but the gist of it is this. At the moment of commitment, the entire universe conspires to assist you. If the dream arc is anything, it is a journey designed to reveal the awesome truth of that statement. Now, personally, I've never experienced committing to something that brought more synchronicity into my life than the dream arc, and I've heard and witnessed so many people having that same experience. Now, there's another great saying that goes like this. Prayer is taking a step in the direction of the divine. Synchronicity is when the divine takes a step towards you or towards us. The dream arc provides us with such an amazing opportunity to combine intention, or prayer, if you want to call it that, and receptivity, or synchronicity. Now, as it is with most things, the way we approach the phenomenon of synchronicity can have its gifts and its shadows. When we're playing with synchronicity in a healthy and humble way, we're basically entering a flow state, and the universe or our surroundings are just reflecting that surrendered, trusting state through a field of resonance. So when we're in the flow state, we're in an expansive state. We're opening up to the mystery. We're non-judgmental. We're curious. We're leaning into, we're embracing and dancing with whatever happens to be showing up. And even if in the moment what's showing up doesn't make sense, we don't worry about that, right? We're totally okay with that. Experiencing synchronicity can help us feel increasingly connected to and in just conversation with nature and with life. It's like the universe, through all of the ways that it's communicating to us, including through our encounters with animals and dreams, is kind of letting us know, you're doing great. Keep on going. Just keep following those golden threads. We're in this together. It's all unfolding. Now, when we're approaching synchronistic phenomenon in a more fear-based or egoic way, we're no longer dancing with our lives or the universe. We're dissecting it. We're analyzing it. Some of us fall into the trap of collecting kind of synchronistic signs as if they're medals to wear, here to prove how spiritual we are. Or even worse, we can use synchronicities or a perceived lack of synchronicities as a way of judging or punishing ourselves. We think, oh, something difficult or challenging just happened to me, or I just encountered a dead animal, or I just had a nightmare. That must be a bad sign. And that must mean that I'm doing something wrong, right? That kind of thinking. And when we do that, we're doing the opposite of opening up to the mystery with a curious mind and an adventurous heart. We're shutting down, we're constricting, we're being overly literal, overly analytical, overly interpretive, overly judgmental. And instead of staying in a state of intrigue and wonder and expanding our sense of reality, we're actually reducing it by judging anything that appears to be dark or frightening or bad. And that's not what the dream arc is about. It's about gently guiding us back into that flow state, supporting us in surrendering and embracing an attitude of curiosity, discovery, playfulness, trust, and generosity. And it also asks us to just welcome it all in, including those shadows. I mean, if you really think about it, in the Dream Arc Animal Codex, written by Richard Rudd, there are 64 shadows or underworld creatures. They're all here specifically to help us connect with our fears, to lean into them as we would our greatest teachers, and to trust in their transformational powers when we don't push them away. The dream arc is a lot like Rumi's guest house. We welcome in the entirety of our inner and outer lives with great enthusiasm, and then we just sit back and allow the magic to happen.